Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford, sunny Clearwater, Florida, because I want to answer a question for you. If you are looking for a muscle car that could also handle, but gives you the flexibility of a manual transmission or an automatic, is this 2020 Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 1 the best choice for you? Let's talk a little bit, of course, about Mustang history. Been around since 1964 and a half. So many iterations, so many great models over the years. Trim packages from the Boss 302, Boss 429s, and of course those iconic Shelby cars. With this 2020 Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 1, Ford is giving you some extra performance, not so much in a straight line, so to speak, but in the twisty bits and how the car handles and brakes and performs overall in that complete package. This car would be a direct competitor to the Chevrolet Camaro SS 1LE or the Dodge Challenger series of cars like the RT. In the end, there are some things that limit you when you go the other muscle car brand route. So let's dive into this Kona Blue Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 1. Right off the bat, those unmistakable lines of a Mustang, and Kona Blue, you go throughout Ford's history, that is a color that's been so connected to the Mustang. You could see the headlight design. Some people were still debating on whether this was the right design to go into when we went into 2018 and 2019 and so on, but still has the tri-bar daytime running lamps. I guess the thing that a lot of people are hung up on, and is not really my famous thing, is going to be the area around the LED projector headlight there. That chrome piece kind of reminds people of a BMW or even like a robot. So for me, that's a zonk, and that's why one of the many reasons why I like the Shelby GT350 more, is because it uses the older style headlight design. We come down and you do have fake vents. They don't even have holes in them to be an air curtain, so that is definitely a zonk, especially on a performance pack car. Remember, there's two ways you could go. Level 1, level 2 is a little bit more extreme, and we'll get into that in a second. You have your lower lighting here, and then on the performance pack level 1, you get this extended low lip spoiler. Now what this is going to do, it's going to give you more downforce at the front end of the car, but it's also going to help scoop air into the radiator. And speaking of the radiator, on the Performance Pack Level 1, it is larger for better cooling. With the Mustang GT, you do get gloss black up top. I don't mind it too much because it's a little bit higher than the lower grille. Lower grille area is flat black. That's going to take a better beating. The top portion here is gloss black. You have that iconic chrome pony. You can get the blackout package and have that totally all gloss black, but for me, being Kona Blue with that iconic symbol, it makes sense, but very aggressive. And I really like what they did in 2018 by really bringing that nose down. Really great design, aerodynamic. We go up onto the hood. You have two functional heat extractors, and the nice thing is that they're gloss black to match that front grille area. The lines on the hood, just so like unmistakable muscle car. That really is what you're looking at, especially when you look at the body line here, how it drifts back and then curves towards that side view mirror. Now, as we come around the bend, here's another piece of the Performance Pack Level 1 puzzle. This is a 19-inch wheel. They are wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. So this is a great track duty tire, but also great durability on the road. 255 up front. This is a 40 series sidewall, 19-inch gloss black wheel. I love the design. Looks great with the chrome pony there. You're also going to get on the Performance Pack Level 1 the larger 6-piston Brembo calipers, larger rotors, different spring rates, and also thicker anti-roll bars. This Mustang Performance Pack is going to handle much different from your base Mustang GT. Now, my zonk on this particular one is I would option in the Magna Ride suspension. It even brings it to another level, even for daily driving. As we go down the fender, that iconic 5.0. Remember, underneath the hood is that Coyote engine, 5-liter V8. I think back to the Fox body days when I was in high school. Everybody knew the 5.0, and it was just one of those cars that going up against the Camaro IROC Zs and the Z28s and the Firebird, Pontiac Firebird and Pontiac Trans Am. Just iconic cars, special time. Still a lot of special stuff going on. You have color match mirror caps, that really great roof line. Now, if you went blackout package on this, you would have the blacked out roof, which would look really hot on this Kona Blue. Same side sill extension as any other Mustang that is available in the GT shape. We keep working our way to the back. Now, out back, you actually have wider rear tires. So this is going to be a 275 on your rear. That's going to help get you traction to the ground, and you have a larger rear brake rotor as well. Coming out towards that flared out fender, this is probably one of my favorite spoilers of all time. When I first saw it in magazines, I almost threw up, but now I actually like the way it looks. You can see the nice intricate design, little bit of a pedestal setup that's in a V shape, but this spoiler looks 1,000 times better than what's on the Camaro and on the Challenger. We have our tri-bar taillights, that iconic GT logo, and then the rear diffuser looks really sharp with the active exhaust. Remember, that's the exhaust that we can make louder, piss off the neighbors. Or if you want to keep the peace, you could quiet down the exhaust. Nice slash cut. Why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this Performance Pack Level 1 Mustang. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You know how I feel about this prop rod. Some of you guys love it. Gives you that old muscle car feel. One thing I will never change my mind on is this engine cover. Total zonk. They could have saved themselves so many plastic trees over at the Ford factory by making a smaller cover or no cover at all, because if you look, you can see the intake runners underneath all this plastic. What you do get on the Performance Pack Level 1 is this Mustang GT insignia on the massive strut tower brace. That's going to help stiffen up the front end of this car. Underneath that plastic cover, we have some ponies in this corral. 460 horsepower out of this Mustang GT. And when we're talking about torque, you're looking at 420 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 with the automatic in under 4 seconds. And if you're wondering, well, how much does this Mustang weigh? You're looking at around 3,700 pounds. Now, MPGs, I know a lot of people would use this as a daily driver, and I don't blame you. I would want to be seen in this thing all the time. You're basically looking around 15 miles to the gallon in the city. It all depends on your lead foot, but definitely popping the hood, you see that Coyote V8, well, sort of, if you peekaboo underneath the cover, but you're definitely going to hear it. Speaking of hearing it, let's fire up this V8 and let her scream. All right, guys, we're inside the Mustang GT. We've been talking about, is this the right muscle car to handle and also give you something that the competitors don't? If you go Camaro SS 1LE, which is their handling package, you could only get it in a manual, no automatic. Guess what? Ford wants to keep the variety open with the Performance Pack Level 1, not Level 2, but Level 1. It's right here. You could get your 10-speed automatic or 6-speed manual, and that gives you the best of both worlds, a Mustang and a muscle car that can handle, but also that could shift through its own gears and do it very quickly. I know you're at that point. Well, how much does this cost, Joe? MSRP, the way that this sits, is $49,000. Let's find out why. To the door panel. So you're going to get the optional leather interior. I love the leather on the back portion of the door panel, and I love that bright blue stitching, especially because we're in a Kona Blue Mustang GT. Really has a nice flavor to the old style with some new features as well. That blue stitch work, we're celebrating 55 years of the Mustang. This panel right here is specific to the Performance Pack Level 1. You're going to get oil pressure and vacuum, nicely placed with your AC vents. We come down, you have your 8-inch info system that is going to be sync 3, which means it automatically is going to sync up with your phone. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation. You can get into your climate controls very easily. If you don't like touching screens, you have a weird phobia, guess what? You got plenty of knobs here. So we toggle down, you got your radio knobs. Here's your controls for AC, ventilated seats. Those really cool P51 Mustang toggle switches. I like the chrome finish on them. You have your different drive modes, different steering feel. You got a little cubby for some Tootsie Rolls. As you smoke the competition, you could throw them a Tootsie Roll. You got a USB and a 12 volt. That's gonna control that 10-speed automatic. Stitch work, I like the softness on the center console. You like Mustangs? There's your Mustang, let her run. Right there on your key fob, you turn it around, you got remote start. You can panic. The panic button's really for whoever's you're racing. Chrome around the cup holders, good old-fashioned e-brake. You don't see that very often. Padding, nice and soft with the stitch work. We open it up and guess what? You could have your Twinkie stash in here, Victory Twinkies, as you go down the road. USB and another 12 volt. We close it up and then I love the seats. The leather's great, the stitch work is awesome. Perforated center. I'm zonking the manual back. So the backs of the seats are manual and the bottom is electric. So I like the touch on the electric part, but why make the back part manual? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you come over to the business end though? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Mustang GT. All right guys, behind the business end of this Mustang GT, I like the aluminum plates down here. That lights up Mustang at night. You have your power controls. Seats feel great. You have just enough bolstering to where it's comfortable, but it holds you in place. Steering wheel. Love the thickness. I wish it was flat bottom. For the Performance Pack Level 1, I'm zonking this. I wish it was flat bottom, and I don't particularly love the redesigned Mustang. I like the old style pony a lot better. Speaking of ponies, you see this button right here? Like I said, this has the active exhaust, which you could make louder, so you go right in there, you toggle down to exhaust mode. We don't want normal. We want to let her scream. Put it in track, and now we're ready to rock and roll. We go back. There's our digital dash. You like different modes? We got them. Normal, Sport Plus. Watch that. Look at that. You see the tack? How it changes? Let me get rid of that stupid warning. Then we go to next, which is track. Nice. Look at that. Ready to rock and roll. I promise you your Camaro doesn't do that. I promise you your Challenger doesn't do that. You even have drag strip. This comes automatic with line lock, so you could do those smoky burnouts. Plus you have plastic paddles on the back of the steering wheel, which I wish they were larger and made out of metal, so that to me is a zonk where you could go up and down your 10-speed. We're not going in the back seat. That's not what this review's about. You can watch one of the other Mustang reviews. We're not even gonna go in the trunk because I don't care. We are gonna take this and do what's meant to be done with a muscle car. Let's rip it. All right guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We're in the Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 1 on throttle at 10 speed. I'm telling you right now, the way it shifts is so fast, so precise, and actually quite smooth, to be honest with you. I had the exhaust note and track because I want to piss everybody off because it sounds so good. And you just got a whole earful of that glorious Coyote 5-liter V8. Love looking out over the hood, especially in this Kona blue. There's just something about Kona blue. It's actually one of my favorite colors. If I was not getting a Heritage Edition GT350, I would want Kona blue. Kona blue with white stripes sounds pretty to me. But definitely this Performance Pack Level 1 in Kona blue with the stitching in here. They did a great job overall. And what can I say? Driving a Mustang, how can you not enjoy it? Especially when it is a GT. Definitely think that when it comes to your muscle car overall, with this particular package, you're getting the best of both worlds. If you don't want to road through your own gears, I get it. I know, especially if this is going to be a daily driver and it's also going to be your track toy on the weekends or whatnot, you may not want to road through your own gears. It may be too much, and that's fine. So it's great that Ford says, okay, still want a performance pack? You can get your 10-speed automatic or the 6-speed manual, and I think that's what really separates it. Now, with the Challenger, if you go Scat Pack or anything like that, you can get a 6-speed manual as well. But the difference is they don't have a 10-speed automatic. They have the ZF 8-speed automatic. And I can tell you this right now, and I'm not getting paid to say this. Walker Ford doesn't pay me or anything like that. We've driven the 8-speed plenty in the Challengers and the Chargers now, and I still love this 10-speed. If you're gonna go automatic, 10-speed in this thing is just crazy. Remember, the Camaro has now the same 10-speed as the Mustang GT. Sitting here, if you're gonna option it, and you're definitely going Performance Pack Level 1 with an automatic, get the nicer interior. The leather seats are great. They're supportive. Being ventilated, that's a nice extra touch. And then of course the digital dash, 12 inches. That's a great number, isn't it? But 12-inch LED display. You could toggle through all sorts of information. You could go in through your different modes, put it in Sport Plus, put it in Track, whatever suits your feeling for that particular day. Plus you're gonna get the great handling of the Performance Pack Level 1, and you're getting that additional cooling, plus the look. Those 19-inch wheels, that rear spoiler. Looking out the the back window, which is large, it is big, but looking out the back window, that spoiler does not block your view one bit. You can see it. It reminds you that you're in something more than your standard Mustang GT, but it's not obtrusive in any way, shape, or form. All right, guys, pulling away from this light, one of my favorite things about the Mustang when driving it in just in normal conditions is that it's very easy to drive. The throttle has a great feel, great touch to it. And another thing that I love, especially because you know me, I like good feedback coming through the steering wheel. You can actually adjust the level of weight on the steering in the Mustang, which is great as well. But to merge, piece of cake. You just drop down the loud pedal and you are off like a rocket. The sound, just so wonderful. It really is a close second to the GT350. Remember, this thing redlines at 7,500 RPM. That's a higher redline than the Chevy Camaro SS. One of the main reasons why is this does not use push rods like the Camaro SS with its V8. It's got the old-fashioned push rod style. This is a quad cam engine, totally different, and allows it to function at a higher RPM. Looking at the dash, real clear, the graphics, the colors, the fonts, and the steering wheel has a great feel to it. My biggest zonk when it comes to being behind the wheel are the paddles. They're on the smaller side and they're made out of plastic. It'd be nice to have the wrapper paddles that are magnesium, especially in a Performance Pack Level 1. I can understand if this was a base Mustang GT, but in a Performance Pack Level 1 it would be nice. As you can see in Florida, we have people doing interesting things like braking on an off-ramp. But great seating position. Let's see how she handles since this is a Performance Pack Level 1. I'm going to use the paddles actually to downshift. Into third. Turning is nice. Great weight. Look at this. Throttle. Just ride the throttle. Ride the throttle. On throttle. Here we go. Very fast shifts by using the paddles. Super smooth. And the sound, I can listen to that all day long. It's like, that could just be like background noise. Would be wonderful to hear that V8 all day long. But this thing really handles so much different than a standard Mustang. And it would be really interesting to see how it handles against a Challenger, because remember, Challenger, she's heavy, 4,200 pounds. That's a lot heavier than this Mustang GT by far, and that's gonna make a big difference in how the car handles. Speaking of handling, let's go ahead and see how we handle this left-hand turn on throttle, on the brakes, those 6-piston Brembos. Nice turn in, super crisp. I have it in automatic mode right now. Here we go. Yeah! The shifts are so fast. It's like, I know that my arm and feet cannot move as fast to shift a manual transmission, and yes, I personally would still go the manual route, but I'm telling you right now, if you want an automatic or need an automatic, this thing does things so much differently than the automatics from the past. It's mind-blowing. It really, really is. And that's what this car is all about. It puts a smile on your face every time you drive it, because you are driving 55 years of Mustang history. Even, I'm telling you, even in automatic mode, the way it downshifts and whatnot, very, very smooth. It knows exactly what gear to be in. You want to drop it down, and then you go. Great sound, and I'm glad that with the Performance Pack Level 1, they're giving you the larger rotors, and they're definitely giving you those 6-piston Brembo calipers. Those are going to grip down and really bring you to a halt and allow you to stop on a dime and give everybody change. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what Mustang is all about and what the Performance Pack is all about, Level 1 with the automatic, and why really this, if you're looking for a muscle car and you wanted to do a little bit of everything, this is the way to go. But we're gonna wrap this up and get back to Walker Ford, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful muscle car kind of day here at Walker Ford. Being around these Mustangs over here, not the Fiestas, the Mustangs over here always makes me feel good. Definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, Greg, the whole crew here, so accommodating. Is this the best muscle car that could handle? And also, you have that automatic option. Does that make it really the best choice? I say yes, and you definitely want to get down here and take one for a spin. If it's cars like these you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. Got to give it up to, I now call him, whenever we're around a muscle car, we have to call him Muscle Guns McGee. Tom Moschner, working that camera like a champ. He's loving the Mustangs. He loves Kona Blue, so we're going to take it for a rip a second time. Thank you, Tom, for your hard work, and just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.